Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in to my super chat. Thank you. I have a very, very interesting live show this evening, and we're going to talk about a lot of things. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, thank you so very much for being amazing moderators. I have a very special H.A. Goodman's Other Channel segment right after this live stream, so check that out. And it is giving my thoughts on the Nick Cannon situation. And check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. And it's a very, very kind of, it's about over 25 minutes, and it's my views of what really is offensive to me and what isn't offensive to me. So what happened with Nick Cannon was not offensive to me. And I mean, to a great extent. And I explain what I am livid and indignant and offended by. So, and that pertains to the Democratic Party, and how they utilize history for their own political gain, how they actually butcher and manipulate and mangle and distort and revise historical record, especially the anguish and an open wound that people who've experienced such horrors face. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, so just watch that segment on H.A. Goodman's Other Channel. That's right after this one, and I'll put the link below. But ladies and gentlemen, President Trump has a swing state strategy. Okay, so he has a strategy to win battleground states and swing states. Apparently, Brad Parscale, helped him get to the presidency in 2016. Who knows what took place within, because I don't believe the polls at all. I don't think President Trump does. I don't think anyone in that campaign truly feels they're 15 points down. At most, they could be like 2 or 3 or 4 points down nationally, but even that is due to apoplectic, hysterical, fanatical, seething and fuming, and overwhelmingly negative media coverage, blaming President Trump for everything without evidence. It's not President Trump's fault that 5 Democratic-run states account for over half of the lives lost. This is according to the New York Times. 5 Democratic-run states account for over half of the lives lost and over half of the cases. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where people are enamored with appeals to authority. Well, the polls say he's not going to win. All the experts say he's not going to win. Well, guess what? He's going to win. I'm telling you he's going to win. I'm telling you Hillary Clinton is going to be on that ballot. She'll be nominee, or else they don't win the popular vote. And they'll lose swing states. But veteran who approves, hello. Wally Pop, hello. Cosmic Grandpa, hello. This is interesting. So, Bill Stepien, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name. This man worked as a political operative or consultant in New Jersey for like a decade. That's important. President Trump needs to craft a message going into the home stretch that resonates a little bit with Democrats who are disenchanted or who are tired of just the maniacal vitriol. Luke St. Martin, hello. Eric H526, hello. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be part of a newsletter, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. I'll be starting a newsletter soon, and my new website will be up and running. It's hagoodman.com. But this is not like the way the media, portrays this is that, oh my God, Trump is this. He's trying to accept defeat, or he's on the ropes and he needs a campaign change. Oh, the polls are getting to him. He's so upset, and there's a huge shift. It's like, well, I don't really know what the difference is going to be between Brad Parscale and Bill Stepien, but you know what? It's actually good. See, Democrats, their motto is that if it ain't broke, if it's broke, never fix it, and if it ain't broke, always keep fixing it. President Trump sees, very likely, that he has to craft a message to people within swing states. He needs to reach independence, and he will. But he needs to reach independence. He needs to reach independent voters in Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Florida, Nevada, Minnesota. He needs to do that. Climb BMX! HA, my two dear friends here on Vancouver Island are absentee voting for Donald J. Trump. This is my connection here. Nice! Climb BMX! Yes! April Chrisman, Clinton and Corn Pop. April, thank you. Climb BMX! Yes! Awesome. Very cool. Awesome. Very nice. Climb BMX. My two dear friends here on Vancouver Island and are absentee voting for Donald J. Trump. This is my connection. Nice. Climb BMX. Thank you. April, I think that's probably going to be, cornflakes will be part of the campaign somehow. April, thank you. Climb BMX. Thank you. As always, Climb BMX. Thank you. But, yeah, this is not, it's not that big of a deal. I don't really know, like, if you read about this gentleman, I hope I'm pronouncing his name, Bill Stepien. Let's see, how is this man's name pronounced? Bill Stepien? And then we'll just say Bill, but he almost certainly wants a better strategy for swing states, and he almost certainly wants a better strategy for swing states. Okay, hold on one second.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie's former Deputy Chief of Staff, Bill Stepien.
Bill Stepien! So, Bill Stepien. No, it's just Pellegrino. It's just like, it's just a flavored Pellegrino. Luke St. Martin, thank you. Stepien, yes. Bill Stepien. Wow, that's fantastic. I tried to look up information in Politico. Let's read Politico about him. Let's read in Politico, Bill Stepien. A lot of, there was a Chris Christie scandal. So the good thing is that he knows how Republicans can win in blue states. The bad thing is that he was part of a a scandal with Chris Christie that thankfully worked out well for Bill Stepien. Maybe not so well for Chris Christie. But there's an interesting article. Power list, Bill Stepien, Politico. White House political director. Bill Stepien's career as a political operative was left for dead after his involvement in New Jersey Governor Chris Christie's Bridgegate scandal a few years ago. But now he plays a central role in the White House as President Trump's go-to guy in charge of 11 people in the political affairs office. Quote, I hope for another opportunity to prove myself and to be put in a position to prove my talents and my work ethic, and I'm just thankful that the president gave me that last year, Stepien said. Stepien, who worked on Trump's presidential campaign, used Jared Kushner as one of his entry points into Trump world. Stepien now considers Kushner a personal friend and called him a pleasure to work with. Stepien works really hard, and he keeps his head down. He's loyal to the president, said a source familiar with Kushner's thinking. Stepien, who rose to prominence as Christie's political guy, no longer talks to his former mentor. I've never met somebody who is as tenacious, hardworking, incredibly loyal to the mission and to the principle, and very smart and understanding and very smart and understands politics at a high level, said a Republican political consultant, who has known Stepien since he was 15 years old and used to coach him in hockey. Nobody is going to ever outwork him. Wow. This guy was a budding political operative at 15. Stepien, who has been a hard-nosed political operative since 2000, gets into the White House at 6 a.m. and then hits the gym with, hopefully does the Paul Ryan, hits the gym with the colleagues before working until 8 p.m. or later. Wow. My God. His job is to get party and campaign operations, elected officials, and other stakeholders to support Trump's agenda. It's all an effort to try to keep and build grassroots support for the president among the different coalitions and influencers of the Republican Party to help Trump pass his legislative agenda. That's good. So the man is hardworking. He's got energy. And maybe he's a fresh face. Lyle Bud! Super chats allow you to rock this live stream. Exactly. Lyle Bud, thank you. Lyle Bud, thank you so very much, Lyle. Thank you. Thank you, Lyle Bud. Thank you. You definitely do, ladies and gentlemen. And it is greatly appreciated. My Patreon is below as well. If you want to support my voice long term, but Lyle Bud, thank you. And without the super chats, I could not do these live streams, so I do appreciate them. Thank you, Lyle Bud. Thank you. Well, Trump's approval rating is at 36% of early December. This is at 2017. Stepien isn't worried. If we pass the things we talked about passing, the voters are going to notice. I think generally voters are happy about what they've seen thus far. As for his future, Stepien also said he is interested in potentially joining the re-election campaign a year or two down the road. Some Beltway Republicans have groused that they haven't seen much activity from the political shop in this tough year for Trump, but Stepien dismisses that criticism. Quote, it's our job to build support from 2018 and lay the groundwork for the future. Some of that happens in this town, but most of it doesn't. It's not a surprise to me that D.C. insiders in the swamp think they're not being paid attention to. Ha ha ha! Yeah. So that's good. That's good. I think that it's good to Roscoe Truman. Go Trump! Thank you, Roscoe Truman. Thank you so very, very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Be here, Roscoe Truman and Lyle Bud and everybody. Be here and Climb BMX. And April, be here on November 3rd. President Trump's going to win. I don't think they realize this. The media, I've been listening to, I've been watching like CNN and The Daily Show, and just to kind of, it's like extremely annoying, and it's kind of repulsive to watch for me, but like listening to a whole bunch of shows on the left that just have like derangement syndrome for Trump beyond belief. They're doing the same things all over again. They're repeating the same mistakes all over again. They have not learned at all. They have not adapted, or they have not in any way, shape, or form changed their tune. They just haven't. It's the same exact vantage point they had in 2015 and 2016. They have not changed at all. It's pretty remarkable. So Roscoe Truman, thank you. Jason Gary! HA, I greatly appreciate your optimism and authenticity. These live streams are one of the highlights of my day. Keep doing what you do. Shalom. Thank you, Jason. Jason, thank you. That makes me feel very good. And they're the highlights of my day as well, Jason. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate the kind words. Jason Gary, I'm going to save that message. Jason Gary, thank you very, very much. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it, Jason. Roscoe, thank you again. Old School Dad Man. HA, did your Twitter get hacked? Old School Dad Man. I don't have Twitter. Old School Dad Man. Kelly Danielle, been with you since 2016. Bernie Bro all the way to Trump 2020. We've been on the same journey. Congrats, HA. You stayed true. Proud of you, US MAGA. Thank you so very much, Kelly Danielle. Greatly appreciated, Kelly. And I think that Bernie supporters from 2016 have a true appreciation of President Trump because he fights. He fights. The man fights. Not like Bernie. Oh, I'm going to fight the 1%. I'm fighting the 1%. What was that, Biden? What do you want me to do? You want me to jump through 20 hoops set on fire? Is that what you wanted me to do? What else do you want me to do? I'll do anything you want. Just pretend you like me. I got a small favor to ask of you, everyone. Give me $1, so I'll give it to Biden, and he can give it to Madam Secretary when she runs. Because she's running, she'll be the nominee. You know the deal. Kelly, thank you so very much. Kelly, isn't it great to have somebody who fights? I swear to God, this is me watching Bernie Sanders in 2016 debate Clinton. Oh, please, for God's sake, no. Oh, that was I was kind of almost like that inside, mostly, because I was like still like, oh, well, maybe this is some kind of plan, master plan for Bernie Sanders. You know, him not fighting means fighting. Oh, no, who knows? Kelly, thank you. Jason, thank you. Roscoe, thank you again. Asperger's adulthood. Parscale screwed the pooch by falling for the epic TikTok trolling on the Tulsa Trump rally. Other political consultants have said Parscale should have figured out the manipulation and planned accordingly. You know, I don't really know the Asperger's adulthood. That's a great point. I don't know exactly what happened on that platform. So let me read that. I don't exactly know what happened on that. Let's see. So CNN was all over it. So even if, I mean, you likely had hundreds of thousands of people, let's say hundreds of thousands of TikTok users. Oh Lord. You know, the left is all about like lame Pyrrhic victories. Asperger's adulthood. Thank you. That's probably one of the reasons why. Yeah. I'm glad that, because this Bill Stepien gentleman, I'm glad that he at least he needs to make a name for himself. So Brad Parscale made a name for himself. So Bill Stepien, he wins Trump's reelection. That's a pretty big thing right there. So I mean, so Brad Parscale won the political Super Bowl, or the Super Bowl of politics. You know, Bill Stepien can win the Super Bowl of politics also. So great point. Asperger's adulthood. Great point. I think that hopefully, I pray to God. Please, God, please. Let's pray. Lord, please tell Bill Stepien to tell President Trump a week before the election, no matter what happens, even if Elizabeth Warren is vice president and when Clinton becomes nominee and she's running for president again, and if Barbara Streisand and Robert De Niro and Madonna do a music video, trying to sing about how horrible Trump is, whatever, I don't care. Please, God, please, Lord, tell Bill Stepien to tell Trump not to tweet anything offensive. Nothing offensive. Nothing that could be turned into a monumental, epic obsession of Democrats. Tim Slater! Backlash coming in November for Dems budget cuts in their states and no schools. Exactly, Tim Slater. Exactly. Tim, that is a great point. Asperger's adulthood, great point as well. Roscoe Truman, thank you. Tim Slater, that's a great point. Kelly, thank you. Old School Dad Man, thank you. Jason, thank you. Lyle Bud, thank you. Climb BMX April, thank you. It's interesting. Tim, I don't think they realize, the Democratic Party's vantage point is like, life really stinks. Life stinks. Like the Mel Brooks movie, life stinks. The best part of when he's talking to the other homeless man, he's like, you don't know this, but I'm really a billionaire. And then the other guy's like, me too. And they go at it, and they start it's really funny. Anyway, oh, it's such a great movie. Oh, by the way, none of Mel Brooks. Okay, Mel Brooks could not. Don Rickles, Mel Brooks could not do their comedy in this day and age. This is really not an amusing or fun time to grow up in. It just is not. But anyway, that's a whole other story. If you look, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at, they're already setting up, Trump won't leave and he'll cheat. So here's the interesting thing. If he wins, he's going to cheat. So here's what everyone has to remember this. Tell your friends who are Trump supporters, tell everyone voting for Trump the following. We'll win. But when President Trump wins again, because Democrats have they're completely illogical, irrational, apoplectic, fanatical, hysterical, and they make no sense when they form an argument, and none of their arguments make any sense at all. It's always, oh my God. Did you see what he said? He does this. He represents this. It's never a tangible argument. Tim and everyone here, it doesn't matter if Democrats complain that Trump cheated, because they already spent 3 years not accepting the election results. So it doesn't matter. The whole issue with canceling out people, it should never matter. The outrage, people's outrage, and I explain this pertaining to Nick Cannon. I give a unique viewpoint, I think very unique, on H.A. Goodman's other channel. But people's viewpoints of President Trump should be completely irrelevant now. The indignation, the outrage, for example, if somebody says to me, I've known people who oh, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Well, if you want to throw away 10 or 30 years or whatever, that's your problem. So I probably can say that about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 people that I know that I'll very likely that it'll never be the same, and the friendship is essentially over through no fault of my own. The only sin I committed was advocating for President Trump, a president who was elected, a person who was elected president, who signed the First Step Act, who signed the only executive order combating anti-Semitism, which is running rampant on college campuses, who increased funding for historically black colleges and universities, who is getting us out of endless counterinsurgency conflicts, ending America's longest-running military quagmire and war, and signing a deal in late February, early March that nobody talked about and nobody's talking about, but everyone should talk about it, to bring our soldiers home from Afghanistan, to bring them home to their families. Infinitely more important than climate change. Infinitely more important, because you need the whole planet to address that. You can immediately better the lives of American soldiers and their families by bringing them home from these endless conflicts. And then the left says, well, it's just like Germany and Japan. Like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? They have no concept of history. Like, no concept. You're talking about people who, like, their view of the world started in 2016. And that's it. If it's before 2016, they don't want to hear about it. But you can't give them, like, this is the problem. When people say, people are losing their jobs for things they say on Twitter that are completely misconstrued, or apologies that are, like, I don't think, like, here, like, I explained in my segment on H.A. Goodman's other channel, I'll upload it after this. I don't think Nick Cannon should lose his job. Like, if a person says something that is not accurate or ignorant or offensive, shouldn't they learn why what they said was hurtful? Or should they just be condemned? And so, but see, the thing is, what I don't like is it's only one way. The left is, well, we can say whatever we want to and demand empathy and forgiveness. And we better get the empathy and forgiveness. But getting back to, Trump cannot care. Like, Trump supporters shouldn't care what Democrats think about anything. President Trump, at a certain point, has to ignore the hyperbole. Like, if there's a problem, like there was about less than a year into his presidency, he signed an executive order ending a certain, I don't want to get into it on the live streams, but ending something that he should have ended. Okay, that was a mistake, in my view. I mean, it was good that President Trump ended, a policy that was draconian. It was a good thing he ended that policy. Okay, they don't even acknowledge that. So, like, at a certain point, you listen, but if it's just if it's about other issues that aren't tangible, like where President Trump can't, like, fix a policy and it's just about what his words mean, or the subtext or the dog whistling or whatever, just ignore. Like, they are going to lose the election because they stand for nothing. They only fabricate emotion and like, they manufacture and they fabricate. There's like a conveyor belt of negativity and emotion. Old school dad man. HA, what's up with West? Do you think he'll run again? I don't know. I think that, you know what, he could definitely run a write-in campaign. So old school dad man, he can definitely run a write-in campaign. So I mean, a write-in campaign would work. I don't know. I think that he's still probably going to run. I don't think that he's just going to give up after a day, because he should build a base of support. So, old school dad man, thank you. But Hillary Clinton's going to be nominee. So when that happens, I mean, who knows what takes place pertaining to Kanye West, and hopefully he starts to run before then. But like old school dad man, Tim, everyone here, Asperger's Adulthood, one important thing to remember is that if you have friends that don't want to be your friend anymore, family members that don't want to talk to you because of President Trump, that's their problem. That's not your problem. That's their problem. Because they're looking at politics from a sore loser's perspective. They're looking at politics from a very warped and not even childish, like this absurd, twisted, sick, warped mentality. So I knew people who voted for Bush, and Bush got us into never-ending quagmires and obliterated and ruined the lives of hundreds of thousands and millions of people with his foreign policy. Do I then judge people who voted for Bush based on the worst, the most horrendous foreign policy in U.S. history aside from Vietnam? No, I don't judge those people that way. But the Democrats have done away with religion and done away with, like a lot of things, but their religion, their theocracy is politics. They truly think they're morally superior. It's like it's actually quite amusing to see them view themselves in such high esteem when oftentimes they act like the biggest imbeciles on the planet. But see, that gets to the following. This country is not divided or polarized, or, we're not a nation torn at the seams or tearing at the seams or, this is what's taking place. The people who don't like President Trump are the same people who wouldn't like Bush if Twitter existed. These are the same people who would annihilate Mitt Romney if he were on social media. Like Pierre Delecto would be 1,000 memes, and they'd be actually funny. Like it would be the one moment where the left could actually, make funny memes. Mitt Romney lends himself to that. But the nation is not polarized. We're not divided more than ever before. We're the only thing that has taken place the past 4 years is that people who didn't like Trump are now obsessed with him. That's it. The people who didn't like Trump are now absolutely obsessed. So they give voices to the most, to the most fringe and loudest and oftentimes absurd, angry, messages or voices. And like you see this with Hollywood, and you see this with CNN and MSNBC. Their lives, and you see this with just journalism, their lives are dedicated to undermining and removing President Trump from office. Trump supporters don't care what Democrats do. I don't care if Pelosi stays there forever. I don't care if Clinton runs I actually want Clinton to run every 4 years. It ain't going to be Biden, because then they would lose the popular vote. It's going to be Hillary Clinton. I will have made the biggest political call of all time. But the difference here is that you have one political side who doesn't care. I don't care what Clinton does, and I don't care what Democrats say, actually, about anything. I don't care about their outrage. And most Trump supporters, even I'm sure President Trump himself, doesn't really care how indignant or outraged or apoplectic or hysterical Democrats are. I don't care. It doesn't. If I get a text message from a person that I've known for a long, long time, and they give me their manure and bandini about how they don't like my politics, why would I care? Why on earth would I care? And how is that in opposition to my viewpoint? Generally, a debate is, but they don't debate. So the second you get into a debate with them, they just melt. They wilt like a, they just like completely shrivel up because they don't have an argument. They have false analogies and absurd metaphors and euphemisms, and that's it. Rory Moran, thank you. Rory Moran, thank you so very much, Rory. Rory, thank you. Tech Epiphany. Been a while. Keep it up. Trump has to move to Parler. Your fave Bad Religion song. Bad Religion is awesome. Let's see. I can't think of one right now, but they're great. They're great. They're great. Tech Epiphany, thank you. Let's see. Trying to look now. I mean, there's probably a whole bunch that if I hear them, I'll be like, oh my God, I love that song. But thank you. Bad Religion's awesome. Thank you. Tech Epiphany, thank you so very, very much. I wish I could give you an answer, but my brain is fried right now. Thank you, Tech Epiphany. Thank you. Bad Religion is awesome. They rock. Rory, thank you. Pizzolano! You are right. HRC is running. The Democrats are going to cheat with mail-in voting. You know, Pete, they'll probably cheat in Pennsylvania. I mean, you had a judge recently. Convicted. Now, where is that judge convicted? Of ballot stuffing. You had a judge convicted of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania judge. South Philly judge admits he took bribes to the ballot box for Democratic candidates. Definitely, Pennsylvania looks pretty good for Dems. See, I think they'll probably win Pennsylvania. But see, here's the thing. Pete Solano and Tech Epiphany and Rory and everybody, they have to get close to cheat. What's the point? Like, you're going to take performance enhancers to get within 3 touchdowns? Like, you know, the whole point of cheating is to win. They can't. The only thing they cheat at is their own primary. So they definitely cheat in their own primary. But we know that they don't cheat at all. It was my fault. You know, I had the audacity to run. It's actually my fault. No, I should apologize. No, I'll apologize. No, I should apologize. I should apologize. You know what, Debbie Wasserman? Let me apologize to you for all the heartache that I caused you. I should have just simply never existed. Maybe I should have launched myself into space. Maybe I should have taken a Space Force, a Space Force probe with Trump and flown out of the galaxy. That was my problem. Just joking. You know how much I love you. Anything you want, Debbie Wasserman, let me know. Okay? Russia, if you're listening, I'm sorry. It was my fault. South Philly judge of elections admits he took bribes to stuff ballot boxes for Democratic candidates. No! There have been so many studies done. There's so many studies. You mean did this South Philly judge take an academic study? Was he part of a study? Did they study him? Were there experts that talked about studying? Well, you know that wasn't mail-in ballots. Yeah. Do you think they would tailor their cheating to perhaps mail-in ballots? These mail-in ballots have to be picked up. Almost every single last second recount favored Democrats. So thank you, Paul. Thank you. 4.9 cup blank. Thank you. A former federal judge of elections and Democratic committee person from South Philadelphia has pleaded guilty to accepting thousands of dollars in bribes. Oh my God, he's going to go to jail for thousands of dollars to inflate the vote totals for 3 Democratic candidates for common pleas court judge in 2015. So, DeMuro pleaded guilty in March. Faces up to 15 years in federal prison. Oh my God. $15 in federal. The man is 73 years old. 15 years in federal prison he faces up to. It's nothing good. Nothing good comes out of helping Democrats. Nothing. How many years did people face for conspiring with Russia? Oh, that's right. That never happened. Ever. And then they're like, it's total public relations, like, felon. Oh, this man's a felon. Yeah, because Peter Strzok tripped them up with. When did you email? You had a Facebook account. What happened? Oh, I deleted it. Obstruction of justice. I mean, they totally just, gave everyone the book based on process crimes. So it's like, so President Trump's going to win. It's just a matter of, there needs to be an understanding that it's okay. I guess the point I make when I say that, I know people who are completely apoplectic, that's their problem. It's not your problem. If they don't like Trump and if it's like, honey, again, I have a headache. For 4 years, I was thinking about Trump. You have to let it go. Oh, let it go, huh? Oh, yeah? You're trying to tell me you like Trump, huh? What? You like Trump. What are you talking about? Yeah, as you just said, let it go, right? Oh, my God. You know what? I want a divorce. That's basically what it's going to be. Can you imagine? Could you imagine the fury, the apoplectic, stunned, vitriolic, or the vitriol, the venom, when they lose on November 3rd, President Trump will have a mandate. He will have a mandate. And what they'll do the same thing all over again. We want investigations. But they won't have the support, people. You can't lose twice. One thing in the United States of America, people view our political system like a sports contest. You cannot allow a team that loses the World Series or the Super Bowl twice, two years in a row, or two contests in a row, to start changing the rules of their league. It doesn't work that way. So it's just not gonna work that way. They're not going to have the support, ladies and gentlemen. They're not going to have the ability, the leeway to shape whatever narrative or media spin they want if they lose again, when they lose again. They're not going to win the election. First of all, nobody knows anything about Biden. They have never heard him speak, and every time he's spoken, it's been an absolute catastrophe. He looks like a wax statue that came to life of himself. Biden looks like a wax statue of himself that came to life. He looks like an exhumed body and communicates like a cadaver that got plastic surgery and Botox. This is a man who, you're not dealing with a person that has even a tiny bit of charisma. There's zero charisma with Biden. You age. When you look at Biden, you age. Biden looks like Rip Van Winkle's nightmare. Biden looks like the Tale from the Crypt's older cousin. I can go on forever, but the point is, they're going to go with Clinton. And if they ever dared went with Biden, they would lose miserably. Here you have the New York Times like, why Trump can't touch Biden? It's like, yeah, keep thinking that. That's pretty funny. Keep thinking that. Keep thinking that. Anyway, give me your thoughts below, ladies and gentlemen. Earth Today, hello. Give me your thoughts below, everybody. To my super chat, thank you so very much. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. I have a great segment. A great segment regarding H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. It's regarding it's a reaction to Nick Cannon's what took place. Give me your thoughts below. Thanks, everybody. If you want to be part of a newsletter, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening. This will be my last live stream this evening, but I'll be back tomorrow. I did more uploads than usual today, so give me your thoughts. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow. And subscribe and check out H.A. Goodman's other channel in about 10